good listener, which means that you need to get your notebook, write down important details, for this video discussion will not give you reading the line segment. The classical Weberian bureaucracy. Okay, so what do you think is the classical Weberian bureaucracy? It is said here at the end of the 19th century, it was German sociologist and author of the Protestant Ethic in the Spirit of Catechism, 1905, Max Weber, who was the first to use and describe the term bureaucracy. So, it is also known as the bureaucratic theory of management. Bureaucratic management theory, or the Max Weber theory, he believed bureaucracy was the most efficient way to set up an organization and administration. Next would be, he believed that bureaucracy was better than traditional structures. In a bureaucratic organization, everyone is treated equal and the division of labor is clearly described for each employee. So what is bureaucracy? What is the definition of bureaucracy? Bureaucracy is an organizational structure that is characterized by many rules, standardized processes, procedures, requirements, number of desks, meticulous division of labor and responsibility, clear hierarchies, and professional, almost impersonal interactions between employees. Which means that the bureaucratic theory of Max Weber, such as the structure was indispensable in large organizations in structurally performing all tasks by a great number of employees. So, what is legal responsibility? Legal responsibility is the types of power can be found in organizations. Okay, so number 1, take note, traditional power. Number 2, charismatic power. And number 3 is the legal power. So, there are also 3 elements support bureaucratic management. 1, all regular activities within a bureaucracy can be regarded as official duties. Number 2, management has the authority to impose rules. And number 3, rules can easily be respected on the basis of established methods. Okay. So there are 6 characteristics of bureaucratic theory. Take note. First, task specialization. Number 2, hierarchical layers of authority. Number 3, formal selections. Number 4, rules and requirements. 5, impersonal. And 6 is the career orientation. Number 1, what is task specializations? When you say task specialization, this is the categories on the basis of competencies and functional specializations. Okay, so for example, if every employee is responsible for what she does best and knows exactly what is expected of him/her, then the basis of specialization is the organization clearly benefits. Number 2, hierarchical layers of authority. Do you know what is hierarchical layers of authority? This is the layer of management responsible for each step or overall performance. And number 3, the formal selection would be explained by Imma.
Formal selection. All employees are selected on the basis of technical skills and competencies which have been acquired through training, education, and experience. One of the basic principles is that employees are paid for their services and that level of their salary is dependent on their position. Their contract terms are determined by organizational rules and requirements, and the employee has no ownership interest in the company. All employees are to be selected upon the basis of the technical knowledge and competence that they display through formal examination, training, or education.
Yes, indeed. Imma said that formal selection is the basis of technical skills and competencies. It is true because it is acquired through training, education, and experience. So number 4 will be explained by
Rules and requirements. Formal rules and requirements are required to ensure uniformity so that employees know exactly what is expected of them. In this sense, the rules and requirements can be considered predictable. All administrative processes are defined in the official rules. By enforcing strict rules, the organization can more easily achieve uniformity, and all employee efforts can be better coordinated. The rules and requirements are more or less stable and always formalized in so-called official reports. Should new rules and requirements be introduced, then senior management or directors are responsible for this. In the most basic sense, the benefits of rules and regulations in business are that they protect the company. By protecting employees, you protect the company from lawsuits. Following rules and regulation help employees understand what it is expected of them and what will happen if they violate the rules.
Absolutely understandable. Rules and requirements are required to ensure uniformity so that employees know exactly what is expected of them. In this sense, the rules and requirements can be considered predictable. So number 5, impersonal. This is the regulations and clear requirements create distant and impersonal relationship between employees. In addition, also, it's the advantage of preventing nepotism or involvement from outsiders or politics. Number 6 is the career orientation. What is career orientation? This is the organization which selects on the basis of expertise. This helps in the deployment of the right people in the right positions and thereby optimally utilizing human capital. So, there are also advantages and disadvantages of the bureaucratic theory. What are the advantages of the bureaucratic theory? Generally speaking, the term bureaucracy has a negative connotation and is often linked to government agencies and large organizations. Nevertheless, the great benefit of bureaucracy is that large organizations with many hierarchical layers can become structured and work effectively. And the disadvantages, of course, bureaucracy is characterized by a large amount of red tape, paperwork, many desks, certain office culture, and slowly bureaucratic communication due to its many hierarchical layers. So it's also extremely dependent on regulatory and policy compliance. Next is the whole organizational inventory. Okay, so what do you think is the whole organizational theory? Do you have any idea? Of course, whole organizational inventory, or the HOI, is used to measure organizational school bureaucracy. It also deals with the systematic procedures in the workplace. It has sets of standards which contains procedures that ensures clear lines of authority and accountability within the organizations. There are 6 dimensions of whole organizational inventory. First one, take note: hierarchy of authority, division of labor, rules and regulations, procedural specifications, impersonality, and technical competence. So these 6 dimensions clustered around 2 negatively related seconds order factors. So, upon listening, I bet now that you've wrote everything that is important. Now, I'm hoping that you are 99% ready for an assessment. This is the Weberian Bureaucracy Group. Thank you for listening.